I have been asthma-free for 24 years using a natural formula which I discovered, and I will share that with you in this video. I've suffered with asthma for 35 years, and after discovering that natural formula, I became free of asthma, and I will share this with you. I'm Alan Warnitz, I'm a nutrition expert, and I will share my story on how I actually did this. So you too can become asthma-free when you follow what I'll share with you. So how asthma is treated presently with all the treatments, you've got the pump. So I used different pumps. I used Barotec, I used Ventolin, I used Astavent. I also used the expectorant, bisolven, and I tried also natural expectorants. I tried herbs. I would boil thyme and parsley and drink it. Hopefully that would help me with my asthma. It helped me reduce my asthma. I tried yoga. I was taught the fish position where you try to open your lungs. There's a position to try and bring in air. Tried nebulizer. Nebulizer, they put cortisol in there. Eventually I also got hospitalized. So I have been through everything. I know what you go through if you've got asthma, and I've tried all these things. The problem that happens with all these treatments is that it only controls the asthma. It does not get rid of the asthma. I was sick and tired of suffering from asthma. And when my son was born, at 2 or 3 years old, he also started to develop asthma and his lungs were getting clogged. And unfortunately, he was put on antibiotics. It damaged his intestines, so he got leaky gut. We started to get allergies. And he was also being put on nebulizers. I did not like that. I felt this poor body was getting damaged at such an early age. I had to find a way to sort that problem. I had to get rid of this asthma. I got interested in the subject of nutrition. I did research in nutrition, and I discovered a lot of things which I'm going to tell you step by step what I discovered. So before I tell you what was discovered, I would also experience triggers. So the triggers were hot and cold. So if you suddenly jumped in cold water, it would trigger asthma. Your lungs would get constricted and you would have spasms. From dry weather where I had no asthma into humid weather, next thing I get an asthma attack. I was in dry weather for 14 months in the Middle East. I arrived in a country which had humid weather, and within the same day, the evening, I had an asthma attack, and 14 months prior to that, not one asthma attack. So I had a trigger of humid weather. So that creates another spasm. Psychologically, if you forget the pump or the pump is finished, that's another problem. You sort of trigger asthma as well, because now you think you're going to get asthma and you won't have this instant relief that you get from the pump. Doing sports, I couldn't do sports, I couldn't run because I ran out of breath. And also there's a formation of phlegm. Phlegm forms and it gets sticky. And when the phlegms get sticky, so if you've got a combination of phlegm, sticky phlegm, which you can't cough out, you just cough and your lungs get sore, the muscles of the lungs get sore, and you've got spasms, that's a recipe, a very dangerous recipe where you could actually be hospitalized because you've got spasms, the lungs are closed, and the phlegms blocks the airwaves. So you can't get oxygen, so you run out of breath. So these are the problems that have happened, and all the treatments would only sort of relieve you, but it was never a permanent thing. If you stop the treatment, you'd get asthma. So with this frustration and the antibiotics and nebulizer and the destruction of the gut causing leaks and all that causing allergies, I had to find a way, I had to find natural solutions. So in my quest of nutrition, this is what I found. I found that when cortisol was being used, which is in a nebulizer, it vaporizes cortisol, which is they use prednisone, and that's a steroid, which is a hormone. So what is a hormone? A hormone is actually made by the body naturally, and it's oil-based. Steroids means sterols based from oil. So then I asked myself, where does the body make cortisol? Where does it make that steroid? And I discovered from my research in nutrition that it's the adrenal glands that actually makes the steroids. The adrenal glands is a small gland which is on top of the kidneys. So on top of the kidneys there's a gland called the adrenal glands, and that's the glands that makes cortisol, makes steroids. So now I'm wondering, okay, so what do the adrenal glands need? What nutrients do the adrenal glands need? So in my quest in research, I found what these nutrients were. So there are 5 nutrients, key nutrients that the adrenal glands needs all the time to produce the steroids. And these are the nutrients that get used up by stress. So when you are under stress, the nutrients get depleted first, they get used up first. So when you run out of these nutrients, the body does not make steroids. And when it doesn't make steroids, your phlegm build up and you can't actually release the phlegm, and the lungs also don't get constricted as well. So what were the the nutrients I found out was the supplements was vitamin C, vitamin B5, vitamin B2, B6, and omega-3. Omega-3 is an oil. You need the oil base to produce the steroids. The vitamins help to manufacture the steroids, and it has to be done together with protein. So you get your protein from your food. So when you do this and you supply enough quantities of these vitamins and your proteins and the omega-3, your body makes more cortisol than needed, and you start getting relief. That process takes, if you've got lungs that are constricted and if you've got a phlegm that is sticky, it takes about 2 days of this treatment, 2 to 3 days for the phlegm to be released and coughs out easily. It is such a relief, and when you can do this, give it about 2 to 3 months of adrenal glands being restored, coming back healthy, and enough cortisol being produced, this is when the asthma starts getting less and less and less. Eventually, there is no more asthma. So it's not a quick fix, but it can happen within 2 to 3 months, and this has been my experience with my son. My son doesn't have asthma. He's an avid cyclist. He cycles. He competes in cycling. I don't have asthma. I can do whatever I want. I can drink coffee. I can drink milk. I can drink all the things that create allergies. None of these things actually are upsetting me anymore. For 24 years, I've been okay for that. And I've helped I've helped thousands of people get relief from asthma from this treatment. So what I've done is, what I would do is I would have to go to the shops to go and buy vitamin C, B5. So eventually you find yourself buying 3 or 4 different things, 5 supplements, and it becomes very cumbersome, and you don't know what quantities to take. So what I've done is I've developed some products here. So this product is called Maximize Your Immunity. That product has got these ingredients in the right quantities. It doesn't have omega-3, that must be taken separately, but it has C, B5, and I've put other stuff in there because it helps with the adrenal glands, and it helps also with building up the immune system. So you've got a double benefit here. Immune system is built up, and the adrenal glands are also built up, because the adrenal glands is very important for the immune system. But for asthma, that was the formula that I developed, and so instead of you buying 5 or 6 different things, you just buy this one with omega-3. And then to reduce spasms, the reason there's spasms for the lungs to close and block the air from actually entering the blood, you need calcium, magnesium, and potassium. That relaxes the nerves, enables the nerves to relax and contract at will. Not a spasm is where there's an uncontrolled nerve cramping. The nerves cramp, and you can't undo it. So you need calcium, magnesium, and potassium. So this is a product also that was developed called CalMag with potassium. It dissolves, and that helps with the spasms. So those two together are very good in removing phlegm and relaxing the nerves so that there's less spasms. So when you do those two, you've got a good combination. As I said, it can take 2 to 3 months to relieve yourself of the thing. But you'll find yourself using less and less of the pump, less and less of expectorants, and eventually your body is healthy, and you'll be free of asthma. So I've got a book, an ebook that I wrote, How to Be Asthma Free Naturally. So go down to the link, click on the link, download the free ebook, and there's a lot more details. It will give you the quantities that you need, how to order the products, and a lot more, and you can communicate to me as well, and I will help you should you have any problems to make sure that this thing happens. Thank you for listening, and I trust you will take advantage of this discovery, of these secrets that I've discovered, and you too, you can be asthma free naturally and free of all these treatments, so that it doesn't have to be under control. It should be gone.